Under the microscope, a life dissected. Meghan Markle. The name alone sparks 1,000 conversations, her every move scrutinized, her every word analyzed. From her fashion choices to her public statements, nothing escapes the public eye. From the moment she stepped into the global spotlight, she has been dissected under the harsh glare of the media. Every gesture, every smile, every frown is captured and dissected endlessly. Marriage, motherhood, philanthropy, every aspect of her life is dissected and judged. Her role as a wife, a mother, and a humanitarian is constantly under scrutiny. It seems impossible to escape the constant commentary, the relentless opinions. The media's obsession with her is unyielding, and the public's curiosity insatiable. But why? Why is the world so invested in picking apart the life of a woman who dares to defy expectations? What is it about Meghan Markle that captivates and polarizes so many? The answer perhaps lies in the discomfort that arises when a woman, particularly a woman of colour, refuses to conform. Meghan's journey from Hollywood actress to Duchess of Sussex challenges societal norms. Meghan's story challenges the status quo. Her advocacy for social justice, her outspoken nature, and her willingness to address uncomfortable truths make her a figure of both admiration and controversy. Her very existence disrupts the traditional narratives we've been fed. She embodies a new kind of royalty, one that is not afraid to speak out and stand up for what she believes in. And that, it seems, is a threat to the established order, a challenge to the way things have always been. Meghan Markle's life, dissected and analysed, is a mirror reflecting our own biases and fears. The release of her Netflix docuseries only intensified the scrutiny. It was as if the world was waiting with bated breath to dissect every frame, every word and every gesture. The docuseries, meant to shed light on her perspective, instead became another focal point for criticism. Critics were quick to judge, opinions were readily shared. Social media platforms buzzed with debates, and news channels dedicated hours to analysing her every move. The public discourse was relentless, and the opinions were often harsh. But what many fail to grasp is that this is not about redemption. It's not about seeking approval or validation from the masses. Meghan's journey is about something much deeper. This is not about swaying public opinion, it's about reclaiming her narrative, about telling her story in her own words, without the filter of media bias. This is about owning her story. It's about standing tall amidst the chaos and asserting her truth. Meghan's journey is a testament to resilience and self-empowerment. Meghan's journey has been paved with relentless scrutiny. From the moment she stepped into the public eye, the media's gaze has been unyielding. From the moment her relationship with Prince Harry became public, the media frenzy began. Every aspect of her life was put under a microscope. Headlines screamed, cameras flashed, and a narrative was crafted, often lacking context and nuance. The media's portrayal was often one-dimensional, missing the complexities of her reality. The fairy tale quickly morphed into a public trial. The scrutiny was not just about her actions, but about her very identity. The double standards were glaringly apparent. While others were celebrated, Meghan was often vilified for similar actions. Every action was analysed, every outfit dissected, every word twisted. The scrutiny was relentless and the judgment was often harsh. The message was clear. She didn't fit the mold. She was different, and that difference was not easily accepted. She didn't play by the rules. She challenged the status quo. And for that, she faced immense backlash, and for that, she was deemed problematic. But in the face of adversity, Meghan continues to stand strong, determined to tell her story on her own terms. The scrutiny faced by women in the public eye is nothing new. But for women of colour, the experience is amplified. The expectations are different. The scrutiny is harsher, the consequences far greater. Imagine for a moment if Meghan Markle were a man, if, instead of a biracial American actress, she were a white British businessman. Would the narrative be different? Would the criticism be as relentless? It's a question worth pondering. The truth is, Meghan's story exposes the deep-seated biases that still permeate society. Biases rooted in sexism, racism, and a resistance to change. It reveals the uncomfortable truth that we still struggle to embrace women, especially women of colour who dare to defy expectations. Section 4. Beyond the palace walls. But she refuses to be defined by these limitations. She chooses to rise above the noise. She chooses to use her platform to amplify the voices of the marginalized. Her advocacy work speaks volumes. From championing gender equality to advocating for mental health awareness, she is using her voice to create meaningful change. She is a testament to the power of resilience, of refusing to be silenced. Her story is not just about royalty or celebrity. It's about the courage to live authentically, to break free from the shackles of expectation. It's about reclaiming your narrative and using your voice to empower others. The Netflix docuseries is not a plea for sympathy or understanding. It is a bold statement, a powerful declaration of self-ownership and autonomy. It is someone on their own terms sharing their truth with the world. They are not asking for permission, nor are they seeking validation. It is someone on their own terms sharing their truth with the world. They are taking control of their narrative, presenting their story as they see it. We live in a world obsessed with narratives. Every day we are bombarded with stories from every direction. We crave stories, we devour information. We are constantly seeking to understand the world around us through the lens of these narratives. But what happens when the narrative being spun doesn't align with your truth? What happens when the story being told about you is not the one you recognize? What happens when you're forced to watch as others define your story? It can be a deeply unsettling experience, leaving you feeling powerless and misunderstood. This journey teaches us the importance of reclaiming our narratives. It shows us that we have the power to take back control, to tell our own stories. It reminds us that we have the power to define ourselves, to shape our own identities. We can choose how we present ourselves to the world, to share our stories on our own terms. We can decide what parts of our lives we want to share and what we want to keep private. We don't need permission to speak our truth. We don't need to wait for someone else to give us a platform. We don't need validation from those who seek to silence us. Our stories are ours to tell, and we have the right to be heard. It's time to shift the lens. It's time to move beyond the tired narratives and the double standards. It's time to recognize Meghan Markle for the strong, compassionate and resilient woman she is. Imagine a world where women are celebrated for their ambition, their intelligence, their strength. Imagine a world where women of colour are no longer held to different standards, where their voices are amplified and their contributions are celebrated. This is the world we must strive to create. A world where acceptance and empowerment replace judgment and scrutiny. A world where Meghan Markle's story is not an anomaly, but the norm. This journey is a testament to the power of resilience. It's a reminder that even in the face of adversity, we have the power to rise above, to reclaim our narratives, and to create meaningful change. Let this story be an inspiration. Let it ignite a fire within us to challenge the status quo, to dismantle the systems that seek to silence us, and to create a world where every voice is heard and every story is celebrated. This is the legacy we must strive to create, a legacy of resilience, of courage, of unwavering authenticity. She is not just surviving, she's thriving. Let's stop trying to tear her down and start learning from her resilience. After all, the world could use a little more of that.